Update: while I was away for work, my parents sold my car to fund a vacation and buy expensive gifts for my golden child sister, claiming she needed self-care after her divorce. I laughed in their faces and told them what's coming is unavoidable now. It was only little things that used to bother me about my relationship with my parents, but they were very kind to me otherwise and were good parents overall. That's why I stayed in touch with them and would visit them every month. This recent incident, though, just came out of nowhere. I think they're getting old and senile. That's why they thought this would be something acceptable and that I would just let it slide because I was family or whatever. They were wrong. Even the things they said at the very end of our last meeting, while they were pushing me out of the house, that they had always believed I was a failure, and I wanted to prove them wrong. I don't know where that came from either because they've always been very supportive of me. They had never implied that I would grow up to be a failure. Maybe they believed it in their hearts, but they never let it show and were very good actors because I had been totally convinced that they loved me. This whole incident was the first one that was completely out of the blue, and I don't know what could have possibly driven my parents to act this crazy. I know my parents were good actors. My sister's divorce was pretty bad. Her husband had been cheating on her and had still managed to get away with it without paying her alimony and a dismal amount of settlement money. But still, that's not an excuse for my parents to act like this. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys make sense of why I had to stay in touch with my parents and come to a conclusion about what I should do. It's kind of urgent, so I would appreciate quick advice. Update 1. Hey, so yesterday, after I posted my update, most people told me that I had absolutely no fault in this. I did not want my parents asking questions about what Tyler had done with his car and stuff, so I just decided to tell them one white lie. There was literally no way I could have known that it would lead to all of this, and I don't need to beat myself up about it. Yes, my parents might have treated me decently in the past, but after what they have just pulled, I don't owe them anything. Tyler showed up this morning and told me the same thing that people in the comments have been telling me. I don't need to feel regret or guilt related to any of this. He's going to deal with this in his own way, and all I have to do is testify against my parents because he has had his lawyers draw up papers for a lawsuit and is pressing charges against them. You know what? I'm going to be with him on this. They totally deserve whatever's coming to them, and they cannot dodge the consequences of this. In the evening, we plan on going to my parents' house and talking to them, giving them one last chance to fix their mistake. But I highly doubt that they're going to do it. Their only priority right now is making sure that my sister gets to indulge herself. I already tried reasoning with them earlier, but they were not receptive to it. If anything, I'm pretty sure that they're just going to feed me the same thing this time as well. Tyler doesn't want to waste his time, but Tyler thinks that it's worth a try because he doesn't want to waste his time fighting this in court when he can just settle it outside. Of course, if they don't do as we say, then we will have to take this to court. It has been a couple of days, so they might have lawyered up by now. I'm pretty sure they're cooking up some lie against me to make them seem like the good guys here, but I know what happened, and all I really need is just the contact number of the guy who bought the car, and I will be able to sort this out in a jiffy. Since I don't have that right now, we are just going to have to suck it up and talk to them one last time so that we can tell them how bad it's going to end up for them if they don't get back the car at any cost. The one good thing that has happened so far is Tyler is here with me, so I feel much less stressed out about everything. He has been very kind and compassionate towards me because he knows this is not my fault, and if anyone is to blame here, it's going to be my parents. Update 2. Okay, so a couple of things have happened. As I said, we went to my parents' house to speak to them and told them that we were giving them one last chance to fix the situation. But just as we had expected, they did not take us up on that offer. When we rang the doorbell and my dad opened the door to see us, he told me that he knew he could count on me to realize that what we were doing by getting them into trouble was not right and that he was ready to forgive me. They were so delusional that they had literally assumed that I was there to apologize to them and not give them one last chance to fix the situation. I found it kind of funny. Tyler had to explain that we were there to talk to them about what was going on and that he was pressing charges against them, so they had better get the car back or else things would not turn out well for them. My dad got offended and told Tyler that he had no right to speak to him that way when he was standing on his property and asked us to get out of there. But I stood my ground and told him that we were not going anywhere until he had given us the contact details of the person he had supposedly sold the car to because we just wanted the car back. We didn't want any trouble, neither for us nor for them. In fact, after this whole debacle was over, I planned on leaving them alone forever. When I said that, my mom came around and said that she didn't care that I was threatening her. She knew that she had another daughter to count on, and she was going to make sure that everyone cut me off. After that, Tyler and I realized that there was no talking to them about this. We would just have to go ahead with our threats and do what we had come here to do. So we left because it was pretty pointless. He then contacted his lawyer and said that he was ready to press charges because he had tried to sort this out before going the legal way, and now we were going to do what he had to do. So that was that. Then we returned to the hotel, and both of us were in a pretty nasty mood since my parents were wasting a lot of time, and it was affecting us badly as well. We were just discussing demanding some settlement money from them as well, along with the car in perfect condition, for all the time that they had wasted. Also, in case the car had any damages, we were going to get that money from them as well. While we were discussing it, I received a phone call from my older sister. I did not pick up because I couldn't possibly imagine what she would have to say to me. But then she called me a couple more times, so I finally answered, and then she started lecturing me about how I was harassing my parents. It was not right because they had raised me, so I needed to be grateful to them. I was pissed off. I had already mentioned that, and I really didn't want to speak to her. So I told her that maybe she believed I owe them something, but I didn't think along the same lines after what they had done. Things have always been different for her, so it's not like she would even understand where I was coming from. I tried to hang up, but then she said that it was just typical of me to be ungrateful for everything that has been done for me. I got very pissed off because, first of all, I don't even know what she was referring to, and secondly, I think what my parents had done was extremely unethical and stupid, so they definitely did not deserve to be excused by me like she believed they did. When she made that comment, I asked her what she was referring to because I don't remember a single time I have been ungrateful to my parents. She had the audacity to say that she was not talking about our parents but about herself. That caught me off guard because I really couldn't recall any incident like that. Just as I had expected, she started ranting about something arbitrary that had taken place years ago.